Hello everybody, today for you I have an Ancient Gear Machina Morphtronic deck for the Edison Format 2010. The objective of this deck is to take advantage of powerful machine cards like Morphtronic Map, Gear Town, and Machine Duplication. Tomorrow I'll be posting a dual video of this deck list, so be sure to check that out. But until then, let's get into it. First up, we have our Machina engine, 3 Machina Fortress of course, a powerful machine monster. This will allow you to take advantage of random machine monsters you might draw that you are not able to combo with at the time. And in addition to that, getting your Morphtronics into grave is not always a bad thing, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Next up, we have the Machina Gear Frame. This will search your Machina Fortress, and it also has the ability to search Machina Force and search your Machina Peacekeeper. You rarely will search Peacekeeper unless you have machine duplication you really want to resolve. Even then, it's not really the best play. Your Peacekeeper is able to search your Machina Gear Frames, of course, and Force is just discard fodder for your fortresses. Next up, we have our Morphtronic engine. Our first Morphtronic up is Morphtronic Board-In. While in attack position, your Morphtronics can attack directly. This is very useful when you have spammed the board with Morphtronics off Selphon. If you have Radion, this will allow you to boost your Morphtronics and then swing in directly for big damage, OTKing your opponent out of nowhere. This deck has a lot of OTK potential thanks to the Morphtronics. While in defense position, your other Morphtronic monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. That means if you get multiples of these out, none of your monsters will be able to be destroyed by battle, including the Board-On. So this creates a sort of pseudo dupe block that you're able to easily get into off of a machine duplication or a Selphon, giving you an extra little bit of stall in your deck. And then at any point, you could just switch one of them to attack and then swing in directly with a bunch of damage, which is very cute. Next up, we have the most powerful of all the Morphtronics, your Selphon. While in attack position, once per turn you can roll a 6-sided die, reveal cards from your top of deck equal to that, and special summon one Morphtronic level 4 or lower from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition. This is going to allow you to spam the boards quickly with Morphtronics. So you have a few scenarios here. You might normal summon Morphtronic Selphon, use his effect, hit another Selphon, use its effect, hit another Morphtronic, allowing you to quickly get Morphtronics onto the board. But if you have machine dupe with this, you'll be able to summon 3 Selphons and use their effects. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use a Selphon's effect before I machine dupe, because I actually want to have a higher chance of hitting a Morphtronic by having the other Selphon still in my deck. It also gives me the option, if I hit a Morphtronic Board-On, I can machine dupe that instead, because getting more Board-Ons on board is actually better than Selphons because it creates that lock and the attack directly situation. While in defense position, you're able to reveal the top cards of your deck and put them back on top of the deck. It just allows you to look into your deck a little bit. That's not as good, not as relevant. Next up, we have Morphtronic Radion. Radion's really good. He boosts the attack of all your attack position Morphtronics on the board by 800. So he himself is an 1800 attack monster. But also, when you're hitting these off of your Selphons and stuff, you're going to be also increasing the attacks of your Selphons and your Board-Ons. So an ideal situation is you might Selphon, machine dupe, hit a Radion and a Board-On, and at that point, all your Selphons are getting 800 attack, your Board-On's getting 800 attack, and they're able to attack directly. So 3 Selphons hitting for 900 each, a Radion at 1800 each, and then the Board-On at 1300. That is a large amount of damage that you can do very swiftly in one turn off of a Selphon machine dupe play. Next up is machine dupe itself. You have 9 targets in this deck for machine dupe. You have the 3 Peacekeepers, you have the 3 Board-Ons and 3 Selphons, all very powerful targets. If you hit the Peacekeeper, it'll allow you to search up to 3 gear frames, very useful. The Board-On, you have the lock, and of course Selphon, you'll be able to spam the board even harder with Morphtronics. Machine dupe is kind of the heart and soul of this deck. It allows you to get those explosive plays. Next up, you have the Ancient Gear engine. You play 2 Yugiohs. Yugioh has a lot of utility. being discard fodder for your Machina fortresses. You could also summon off your Gear Towns. Gear Town works is if you set a field spell over Gear Town, it'll trigger its effect. You have to set it because otherwise it'll miss timing because of the activation of the new field spell. But when the Gear Town is destroyed, you'll be able to special summon an Ancient Yugioh from your hand or graveyard or deck. Now, interesting enough is Morphtronics actually have their own version of Gear Town. Now, Morphtronic Map, each time a monster changes battle position, put a Morphtronic counter on this card. For each counter, Morphtronics gain 300 attack. That effect is not really all that relevant. It will rarely come up unless you've machine dupe Cellphone or something like that. When this card is destroyed, though, you can special summon a Morphtronic from your graveyard. So this is Gear Town, but only from graveyard. But it does have extra utility, and being able to set over this for Gear Town so you can keep doing field spell plays feels a lot better, because normally once you play in your Gear Town decks, once you play that final field spell that's not Gear Town, you feel like you're stuck. So if you have to play that before you play your third Gear Town, it feels a little bad, but not in this case, guys, because you can still trigger your Morphtronic Map to special summon a Morphtronic. And that's useful because that'll allow you to use your Cellphones in the early game and your Bourdons in the early game and not feel bad because you don't want to miss out the opportunity to machine dupe. You'll still be able to machine dupe both of them later by using a Morphtronic Map. 3 terraformings, of course, to search those. And then we play a pretty standard spell and trap lineup aside from that. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this deck list. It's a lot of fun. Tomorrow I'll be releasing some duel videos, so check those out, and have a nice day.